Hello to the Cancerians out there. I'm Poetic Heretic, and this is your 20 Tarot Forecast. I'll be giving you a Celtic Cross reading for the month of March for all Cancer people out there, Sun, Rising, and Moon. See what information, insight, advice, and everything else we can get for the month. So let's make sure the camera is about where it should be. It was probably good to begin with. Anyway, so without further ado, let us begin. So we would like a Celtic Cross reading for all Cancer people, all Cancerians, Sun, Rising, and Moon, for the month of March 2020. Let us see what we get. There it is. For your current outside influences, you got the King of Cups. Water sign like yourself right off the bat. For the challenge card, the King of Pentacles reversed. For the underlying energy, the Eight of Cups reversed. For the past, the Five of Swords. For what you hope to achieve, the Six of Cups reversed. For the near future, the Ten of Wands reversed. For your attitude or position in the situation, the Page of Swords reversed. For the outside force coming in, the Two of Pentacles. For your hopes or fears, the King of Wands. And for the final outcome card, Strength. Okay, let's take a look here. Beginning with your current outside influences, this is everything that sort of represents the beginning of your month. You got the King of Cups. So the airy aspect of water, the mental aspect of ocean, seeing deeply into the emotional realm, whether that be in yourself or in others, or in yourself and in others. So things of that nature, active at the beginning of the month. And now it's also, I would say, a card of a certain level of psychic ability and all kinds of emotional investigations, things like psychotherapy and counseling and stuff like that. This person might even represent someone who comes into your life around the beginning of the month who provides some very useful counsel for you in a sort of emotional or maybe even psychotherapeutic sense. For some of you, you may even be looking at yourself, since this would, as a court card, represent an adult male water sign, and that includes a sign of Cancer. It could also, of course, there'll be Scorpio and or Pisces. So saying that, well, the way I would interpret it anyway, if it does represent you, first of all, is that you're feeling quite on your game, hence it is upright. Alternatively, if it represents someone else, then similar to what I just went over, this would be like a helping individual, someone who gives you good advice or good insight into your own emotions or things of that nature. So that is what we have. It's very like nice, like, that watery energy, a nice, gentle, loving, caring, creative even card, I would say. For the challenge card, you got the King of Pentacles, and it did come up reversed, but let's look at it upright. So your challenge this month likely has to do with feelings of security, especially financial security. Let me scan some of your other cards here real quick. See if there's other stuff we can sort of put together here. Well, it's almost like there has been some conflict recently that many of you are wanting to get away from and or reestablish your sense of security in the aftermath of, or maybe some of that conflict still going on, and you're wanting to again reestablish that sense of security. The King of Pentacles as an earth card does often refer to financial security, but not always. It can be other forms of security as well. It's interesting that he's crossing over the King of Cups, almost as if to say that there is an amount of emotional upheaval involved in all of this, and perhaps that is what needs to be rectified this month, around the beginning of the month. But regardless, the idea of security, and also with the King of Pentacles, this idea of hard work and discipline. Are you able to stay disciplined enough this month? So that is your challenge. For the underlying energy, everything representing the foundation of your situation this month, you got the Eight of Cups reversed. So typically, this is a card representing making like a tough decision, walking away from a difficult situation, and it may be painful, but it's the right decision. However, this is the underlying energy, so it's as if to say that this is almost what is happening in the background, this vibe of like having to make the tough decisions, the tough calls, especially like emotionally tough calls, and just kind of in the background of the overall situation that you find yourself in this month. However, I want to also say that this card can take another very interesting turn or manifestation, and that is when we have it upright, it so often can mean a sort of emotional stagnation of pleasure, like being denied the pleasures in life. Well, the reversal can indicate sort of turning that around, getting that back on track. Not, I wouldn't say necessarily having everything in balance, but at least beginning to move in the right direction of getting more pleasure in your life, enjoying the pleasures of life. Because as important as it is to meet our challenges, if we don't actually enjoy ourselves at all while doing so, then that's kind of a sucky life. And I don't think that's what we're meant to be doing here. It's just suffering our way through like glorified martyrs or something. For the past and issues you've had to deal with, then lead into the present. You got the Five of Swords, as I mentioned a little bit ago. This idea of conflict is what this card is basically all about. Hurt feelings, betrayal, that sort of thing. So it looks like things have been rough for many of you in the recent or maybe not so recent past, and that's kind of affecting things this month. You might see some emotional issues flare up, especially with that King of Cups card and even the Eight of Cups reverse that we just went over. But again, I would say reach for that stability that the King of Pentacles is advising. And if someone comes your way to try to help you, give you good advice, be open to that. That is what we're seeing here. I mean, here's the thing, just to jump around a little bit in this reading. It definitely gets better as it goes this month. And so I don't think that whatever that issue from the past is likely to continue to plague you, or at least not in as great of a way. It looks like, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, the outcome card is strength. It's like by the end of the month, you end up overcoming this. So let us continue. For what you hope to achieve, you got the Six of Cups reverse. This is your highest hope, your highest goal, what you're reaching for this month, what you're focused upon. So this could be a desire to bring something back from the past, and maybe you feel like that's blocked, like some delightful, nostalgic memory. However, this card can also take another very interesting turn where you're almost sick of superficiality and you're seeking something deeper, deeper commitments, deeper meaning, that sort of thing. So it may go either way there. It could go both ways, perhaps. For the near future, you got the 10 of Wands reverse. This represents the first week or two of your month. So now we're seeing a bit of a shift in the energy, because this is like letting go of the heavy burden, releasing, and no longer carrying something that is probably unnecessary to carry, or maybe you had to carry it for a time and now you can let it go. And yes, indeed, I'm thinking here it's quite possibly for many of you linked to this idea of some emotional issue surfacing for you. There's something here that you're letting go in the first week or two. I suppose sometimes that card in its reversal, it is true, can indicate the idea of kind of giving in at the crucial moment, like weakness and giving in too soon. But normally I don't see it manifest that way. But if it seems like that might happen for you, then I would, of course, advise do your best not to let that happen, and stick through with something until the end, until you emerge victorious. All right. So for your attitude or position on the situation about halfway through the month, you got the Page of Swords reversed. So this card in its reversal does often represent a sense of like inner stagnation. Nothing's getting your juices flowing. There's a mental boredom. It can also more generally just be not seeing things clearly, a lack of clarity, and especially with that Mercury retrograde in Pisces finishing up this month, there may be a lack of clarity for many of us. So do be aware of that. But of course, as we get into like late March and then into April, the Mercury retrograde will be over and things will become much more clear. But yeah, it's like there's something you guys are struggling with this month overall, but it slowly gets better and you slowly get a handle on it as the month goes on, it appears. All right, so for the outside force coming in, you got the Two of Pentacles. This represents someone or something coming at you. So not you yourself per se, but someone or something coming at you. Well, the Two of Pentacles, this is often a situation where a little risk has to be taken, where if it's like, say, a new business or job opportunity, as this card often manifests, it's one where you're going to have to go out on a limb a little bit. You're going to have to spend some to get some. You're going to have to take some level of risk. However, again, it could also be, though, like someone in your periphery who is taking a risk or who is beginning a new opportunity or something like that. But I'd say most likely this is like some new interesting opportunity, whether it's a job opportunity or another kind, coming at you this month. So how exciting is that? Oh no, YouTube didn't notify you again, Ryan. That sucks, but hello and welcome to my little stream tonight. The first one, anyway. I should be doing more readings after this, hopefully. All right, so for your hopes or fears, you got the King of Wands. So, first of all, this being a court card, it may represent an adult male fire sign. That would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And this person may be on your mind in some significant way this month. But as for the general energy of this card itself, it is this idea of asserting oneself, willpower, the entrepreneurial spirit, determination, confidence, high energy, being, having like all the physical wherewithal that you need to act and to go out and do and to manifest. And with it being the King of Wands, it's also the airy aspect of fire. So it is the mental aspect of one's will. So like letting your mind lead your actions. Now, this falling in your hopes or fears, boy, this could go a couple different ways. Well, I think the most likely way is it manifesting as like hoping that you have the ability to do the things that you need to do this month, especially in a very like overt, outward, assertive manner, if that makes sense. Digging the little candle, how peaceful. I know, right? Thank you. It was just a cheap $1 candle that I bought, but I think it's quite nice. Yeah, I like it. I'll go back to my other one when this one's burnt out, probably. For the final outcome card, how you are concluding the month of March, you got Strength. Using your mind to tame your darker emotions, emotions like anger, emotions like jealousy, emotions like deep sadness, hatred, rage, all of this stuff. That's why I said that, I said earlier that it looks like this month you eventually come out on top of whatever challenge it is that so many of you are facing, because you start off with some sort of rough energy, the Five of Swords showing up in the past and whatnot, but then you're concluding the month with strength, which is, you could even just look at the surface meaning of it, just the word strength, and that would sort of suffice. But if, again, I want to get deeper into it, it is using your mind through faith in yourself and your abilities, and a sort of compassion with yourself as well, to tame your darker emotions, not to destroy your darker emotions, not to suppress, reject, deny, or disown your darker emotions, but to tame them and then channel them in a positive way. And so that's excellent, Cancer. What better way could you have to conclude your month of March? So congratulations on that. That's it for my reading. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to subscribe if you're not already, as I'm always streaming more astrology and tarot related content. And other than that, I hope you have a great month. And again, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back shortly to look at the forecast for the sign of Leo. So bye for now.